Hello guys, in this session we are going to discuss about some general questions being asked in the interview related to the wire and cable. So in wire and cable they may ask you that how many types of wire and cables. They may ask you that what is the wire and what is the cable. So to answer the question that what is the wire and what is the cable, let us see cross-sectional view of a cable. Okay, so in this cross-sectional view of the cable, you can see that we are having an instrumentation cable, that is a pair cable. So this is one single length is called wire. This one single length of the length is called wire. Okay, but if we talk about the cable, so the bunch of the wires, this complete bunch of the wire is called cable. Okay, this is the difference between wire and cable. Now in next question they may ask that how many types of wires and cables, how many types of cable. So cables are classified on the various types, like on the basis of power. So on the basis of signal type. So one is your instrument cable, that is also called pair cable, that is also called signal cable. So instrument cable, pair cable, signal cable is the same. Okay, on the basis of power requirement, there is a power cable, means that is a 230-volt cable in the instrumentation scope basically. So one is your instrument cable, second is your power cable, third is your control cable, which is being used from the MCC to control system. So that is a control cable. That control cables comes in the form of cores. Power cable is also formed in the core, but instrument cable always comes in the form of pair. That is why it is also called pair cable. Okay, now the another one cable type is earthing cable. So the earthing cable is a single core cable that is being used to connect our instrument through the earthing strip or JB through the earthing strip. So that is the earthing cable, which is generally comes in the color of green. There is also sizing of the instrument earthing cable like 2.5 square mm, 1.5 square mm, 4 square mm copper conductor cable. Okay, on the basis of armor and non-armor, there are two types of cable, that is one is armor cable, second one is non-armor cable. So armor cable generally have armoring over the cable. This is the armoring over the cable. So armor cable is generally used for the underground application. Okay, and unarmored cable in which this armoring is not done, that will be used for the above ground application. Because this armor cable, once we are going to use underground application, so there might be some pressure from the ground surface on that cable. That cable might have face some pressurized application. So suppose there is a road crossing, suppose there is a road crossing and suppose there is a road crossing from where our cable is going, and if some heavy vehicle is going on the road, so what will happen, the cable will comes under the pressure. So to get the cable safeguard the cable from the physical damage, this armoring is being done. Correct. So that is why this armoring is done. Now the another question they may ask on the instrumentation side, for the wire and cable, like why metal plated copper conductor are used in pair cable. You can see here that in pair cable we have uses the copper conductor, and that copper conductor have a metal plated conductor. The plating will be done through the tin, nickel and silver. It will depend upon our budget and our application, that how much our sophisticated applications are there. Okay, so tinned annealed. When you see the language in the specification of the wire and cable, the language will be written tinned annealed copper conductor. Means the annealing is the process through which there is a coating will be applied on this copper conductor, and the material by which that annealing will be done, that is tin. That is why the language is written tinned annealed copper conductor. Okay, so the in the instrumentation cable, pair cable, the conductor having a copper that will be annealed through the tin, nickel or silver, anything what is required as per our project requirements. Why instrument cable are helically bounded? Now the before that we will also discuss that why why annealing is required on the copper conductor. So this copper is if we open the copper for the termination in the junction box terminal, or wherever we are going to open this cable for the termination, copper will comes in direct contact of the air, oxygen, and it will get oxides. it will make a copper oxides. So to protect the cable from the corrosion, to protect this cable from termination point from the corrosion, and for the more life, we do that annealing on the copper conductor. Okay. Now the next question is, why instrument cable are helically bounded? Whenever you see this instrument cable always comes in the form of helically bounded. So these cables are helically bounded to nullify the electromagnetic interference. Suppose if one cable is there, so since there is a current in this cable, so there will be an electromagnetic field will be generated across this cable. If you will bound this cable through the another cable having a same electromagnetic field but in opposite direction, so each cable will cross nullify the electromagnetic interference from the other cable, and in such a way that the signals will not get disturbed. Because we are having instrumentation signal, it is running on very low voltage and current, so that signal may get disturbed easily. So to protect our system from any electromagnetic interference, we do the helically bounded cable. Okay. Why we provide rip cord in the instrumentation cable? Okay. Why we use armor in the cable? Armor in the cable, I have already discussed that to safeguard the cable from the physical damage. Rip cord is the in the cable is what? In this cable you can see that there is a wire here. This is the wire. I'm just again going to this highlight. Here you can see that there is a wire. So this wire is basically used to tear the cable. Means in the industry, the knife is not used by the technician to open the cable. It is not recommended. So to open the cable, to tear the cable, this rip cord will be used to tear the cable. That's why rip cord is used in the industry along with the cable. When we will use the copper as a conductor material, and when we will use aluminum as a conductor material in the power cable. So for the higher size of the cable, for the higher square mm of the cable, we will use the aluminum, and for the lower size of the cable, we will use the copper as a conductor material. Because in the lower side copper conductor material, the price is less for the copper and high for the aluminum. Once we go for the higher size of the copper, so copper price will be more and aluminum price will be less for the same current carrying capacity, although diameter will be different. If we are having a 10 square mm of copper cable, so in that case it may be 30 square mm of aluminum cable is required, but the cost of the aluminum 30 square mm of aluminum cable will be less than the 10 square mm of the copper cable. That is why in the power cable, for the bigger dia we use the aluminum as a conductor, and for the smaller dia copper as a conductor. Cable diameter always will keep in the positive tolerance. Why? Cable diameter will use in a positive tolerance. Why? So cable diameter is basically used in the positive tolerance because if we get the negative tolerance, because we finalize our cable gland size based on the cable diameter. We finalize our cable gland size based on the cable diameter. So if our cable comes in the negative tolerance, so what will happen? Whatever the gland we have selected for the cable, that gland will be loose fitted if the cables come with the negative tolerance. Okay, so that is not acceptable in the industry. But if our cable is in the positive tolerance of the whatever is decided, positive tolerance, so what will happen? It will be going to be tight fitted in the gland. So gland will be fitted very tight. That is why we keep positive tolerance in the cable, not negative tolerance is acceptable. Okay, what is special things we will use in fire resistance cable to make it fire resistance? Mica tape, lead mica tape is there, which is going to be applied inside the fire resistance cable to make it a fire resistance cable. Why we use perforated tray in instrumentation and ladder tray in electricals? Okay, so the perforated tray basically we use in the instrumentation because our instruments cable dia and weight is very less. Okay, very less, and the size of the cable means diameter of the cable is small. So if we use the ladder type of the cable tray over here, so there will be a cable sagging in between the ladders. Cable will sagging will be done in between the cable ladder. That is why this ladder type tray is not recommended for the instrumentation cable. But for the electrical, the cable diameter is very big, so that dia of the cable is not going under the sagging effect. That is why in the electrical side we use ladder type tray, and instrumentation side we use the perforated size tray. So guys, there are various instrumentation questions are available with us. We do also provide the instrumentation design engineering training in detail design engineering training. Whosoever is required to attend our training, you may attend our detailed design engineering training. You can check our portal Sanaya Training Institute Private Limited, www.sanayatraining.com. Thank you.